Hey guys, what's going on? James here. I have a few more undrafted free agent signings to talk about and tryout contracts and whatnot. I want to cover these before rookie minicamp, and I know we've been talking about these a lot, but there are, I would say at least one or two interesting names on this final chunk of the list that I do want to talk about. Firstly, you have Mike Thompson, defensive tackle out of Long Island University. He had a career 56 tackles, 8 tackles for loss, and 3 sacks. You then have wide receiver Tanner Knue, 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 and he was played college at Eastern Michigan. His combine and pro day numbers were a 4.59 40-yard dash, 4.16 20-yard shuttle, 7.023 cone drill, 40-inch vertical jump, 10'6" broad jump, and 15 reps on the bench press, 1,866 receiving yards, and 17 receiving touchdowns. This is an interesting prospect in my opinion. I mean, again, a 4.59 40-yard dash is not bad at all. 40-inch vertical jump is very impressive as well. Seems like Tanner Knue could be a very interesting athlete, possibly a return man, something along those lines, and will be battling out for a backup receiver spot in the case of Mike Thompson, backup defensive lineman spot as well. You have Jasper Park's offensive tackle on a tryout contract from Western New Mexico. He also played college football at CO Falls and in Charlotte as well. A 5.44 40-yard dash, 25.5-inch vertical jump, 8'3" broad jump. Here's the first very interesting player in my opinion. Michael Hiers, quarterback out of Murray State, Northwest Mississippi State Community College, and Samford. A 74.3 completion percentage, 6,594 passing yards, 54 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. A lot of people were interested in Michael Hiers as a possibly priority free agent, even a day 3 guy in the NFL draft, coming in at 6'1", 205 pounds. He is described by Lance Zierlein of NFL.com as a spunky pocket passer who operates as a full field reader and benefited from a scheme that allowed for a heavy percentage of quick throws. Sounds like that might be very similar to what the Bucs offense is going to run as well. Below average size, average velocity, doesn't flash arm talent with some of his throws, not very mobile, but can maneuver around the pocket to buy time and is improvisational enough to create for himself here and there. And then it goes on a little bit into talking about him just even more so. But interesting quarterback here coming in out of Samford. I'm going to be curious to see what Michael Hiers can do. He is in a bit of an interesting situation as the Bucs, of course, have John Wolford as their quarterback 3. I don't think that's changing. I think John Wolford will very likely make this roster as a quarterback 3. We also talked about Annexstad, the quarterback, in a separate video, another undrafted quarterback that the Buccaneers had brought in. Zach Annexstad, quarterback out of Illinois State and Minnesota. He put up some interesting stats as well, but I really think that you take a look at what Hiers was able to do in his college career overall, and I would give him the nod there over Annexstad. So it's going to be an interesting battle. I really do believe that Michael Hiers could be a practice squad type of quarterback with potential somewhere down the line. He put up very impressive stats in college and is one of the more interesting names in this list. You then have Jeremy Moussa, quarterback out of FAMU, Vanderbilt, and Hawaii as well. Another interesting quarterback here, 6'3", 225 pounds, 5,726 passing yards, 44 touchdowns, and 20 interceptions. He also had 3 rushing touchdowns as well, a 4.64 20-yard shuttle either at his combine or at the pro day as well. Very interesting name here is Don Chapman, brought in as a tryout player coming in out of NCU, North Carolina. Good size at 6'1", 200 pounds. His career stats were 200 tackles, 11.5 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, 9 passes defended, and 5 interceptions. 4.72 40-yard dash. That's pretty slow. A 4.42 20-yard shuttle, 7.203 cone drill, 35.5-inch vertical jump, 9'8" broad jump, and 11 reps on the bench press. That's a big corner, man. That's a big corner at 200 pounds, 6'1". That 4.72 40-yard dash is pretty darn slow, but this guy was able to make a lot of noise as a blitzer, as a disruptor, and just a playmaker overall while at North Carolina. He's one of the more interesting names in my opinion. You have Caleb Chapman, wide receiver coming in out of Incarnate Ward. Oregon, and Texas A&M as well. He's played at a few different places. 6'5", 220 pounds, 1,012 receiving yards, and 11 receiving touchdowns, a 4.53 40-yard dash, 4.36 20-yard shuttle, 6.89 three-cone drill, 30.5-inch vertical jump, 10-foot 4-inch broad jump, and 8 reps on the bench press. A big outside wide receiver, may be able to make some noise along those points as well. But really, the only new names here that I mentioned that are on tryout contracts is Don Chapman, which would just be fun as can be, and Jeremy Moussa, quarterback out of FAMU. So, some very interesting names there. Some really, like Michael Hiers is a really, really interesting name in my opinion. You take a look also at maybe a guy like Tanner Knue could be an interesting guy in that mix as well. And then you've also got a guy like Don Chapman, who certainly made some play as well at North Carolina. So that's it. As far as I know, folks, that's it. I'm not going to be making any more videos like these. So fingers crossed this is the last video I have to make regarding these undrafted free agent signings. I just want to give you guys as much information as possible. And again, I've said it before and I'll say it again. You never know who can make an impact, and there are some names worth talking about on here. So let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions about these names down in the comments section below. I'd love to hear it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you all enjoyed. And as always, guys, I will see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.